So hello everyone, how you all are doing? I hope you all are doing great. So I am starting this new channel on which I will be posting coding related content. So here I am starting with very first language which is Python. So why I am starting with Python and which audience can watch this video, I will be telling this later on. So first of all, the reason why I'm starting with Python, not C, not Java, not any other language, that is that I will be telling that reason in this video later on, which is that is also a topic in my lecture. And the second question, which type of people can watch this? So anybody can watch this. Like if you have zero coding background, then also you can watch. There are no prerequisites. I will be starting from the very scratch. Like if you haven't studied any coding language prior, it doesn't matter. You will be understanding each and everything because I will be teaching in a way pre-assuming that you don't know anything about coding. So forget about Python or any coding language. You don't know anything about programming. So I will be starting from the very scratch. So there are no prerequisites for this video. So let us directly jump into the presentation. So let us just directly jump into the presentations. Okay. So I will always start my lectures with a positive note, which is the things that scare you only makes you better and stronger. So there will be a lot of points in the life where you will be thinking that this is the end of the life, or you will be feeling overwhelming and frightened by the situation. But always remember that this is a bad time and good time will also come. So eventually this time will get pass, and you will be only becoming stronger and stronger by that situation because you will learn to handle a difficult situation. So each and every difficult situation will be making you furthermore strong. So okay, after that let us begin with the lecture. So first we will discussing about the contents that what will we will be covering in this lecture. So we will starting with basics of programming, not any programming language specific, but what actually programming looks like, what are the things that get covered under the programming, what is this programming thing and all. After that, we will be learning about the difference between compiler and interpreter. We will be also looking them individually that what are they and what purpose for what purpose they are made. And after that, we will be seeing their difference also because see, its difference is very important. Whether from the interview point of view, if you are sitting in any placement, and similarly, it is also important for your what to say that for your college exams, because this is the type of question. If your college exams are theoretical based, then this type of questions can be asked, that difference between compiler and interpreter. Then again, that very most important question, that why Python, why I'm beginning my channel with the Python, why not any other language. So after, we will be answering seeing that also. After that, basics of Python, then print and input statements. We will be also looking at the commenting, that how to use the comments, which is not mentioned there. We will also seeing that. After that, operators, not entire operators because there are new, I guess 4 to 5 types of operator, right? So we will not covering the all the types, but yeah, we will be covering small parts of operators also, and later other parts of operator we will be covering in the next lesson, which will be like it will be variables and data types. Okay. So basics of programming. Now, what is programming? Actually, you will first, before seeing what is programming, let us see its applications. Okay. So there are a lots of apps, social media apps like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, other apps also. WhatsApp is also there, and there are a lot of other apps also. Okay. There are websites, for example, it can be a university website, any government website, or Amazon website, Flipkart's website, Meesho, Mintra, and not only e-commerce websites. There are a lot of websites also, and there are softwares like for editing there is DaVinci VN software, and for creating something there is Autodesk software also. And for different types of works, there are different types of software. So there are a lot of software also present in today's. There are operating systems, like for iPhone there is iOS, for Android there is Android OS, I guess, and for MacBooks there is Mac OS, for other laptops there is Windows software. Linux software is also there. Linux operating system is also there. So there are a lot of types of operating systems, and there are AI chatbots, which is very, very, very important nowadays. Starting from Gemini to your Copilot, and most importantly, Claude, ChatGPT, all these AI-based chatbots and algorithms. What are algorithms now? For a basic, your basic understanding, algorithms can be seen as like there are traveling websites like Make My Trip or Go Ibibo, I think also is there, something like that. So they, if you book flight tickets there, they show you flight price. So they calculate the flight price based on the weather conditions and what distance you have to cover and from which location to which location you have to go. They all conclude these points, and after that calculate the fair price of the ticket at which they ultimate shows to you. So these are algorithms. There are a lot of algorithms. Okay, so that system. If I am saying system in this video at any point of time, it basically means to computer or laptop. System is a very umbrella term. There are a lot of things that comes under this, but for your basic understanding, as you are totally beginner in this technology world and programming world, so just understand it as a laptop. Okay, so these are algorithms, and not only this, the calculators or any thing that you are using in which tech is being used, all of them used programming. Programming. Okay. So what is pro now? We have seen the applications of programming. That what actually programming is. Now let us see that how programming works, the basics of programming. Okay, so in programming, what happens, we give instructions to the computer, to the systems that perform this task. Okay, and for giving that instructions, for example, in our day-to-day life, okay, I can say anything to you, you can say anything to me via language. We can use English, Hindi, Punjabi, or any regional language. We can use that. Only the condition being, we both of them should know that language, how to do conversations in that language. We both should know that. Okay. So, apart from this, we can interact with each other, communicate with each other if we know a language. So similarly, we do with the computer. We give the computer certain instructions in a language, okay, that I also can understand, that computer also can understand. After that, the computer will be performing that instructions. Now, the most important problem comes into the picture, because the computer only understands binary. Now, what is binary? Binary is a Computer only understands binary. Avoid my handwriting, because bad handwriting, because I am writing using the pen tablet for the very first time. Okay. Computer only understands binary. What is binary? The combination of zeros and ones. Okay. Zero and ones. Computer only understands binary. The combination of zeros and ones. But we don't understand binary, because binary in itself is a very difficult language to learn. So here zero means false and one means true, or like not this, but actually it means low voltage and high voltage. Okay, so computer understands binary, but we don't understand binary, so we have to use any different language here. But compute, so we can use like English, right? No, we also can't use our daily basis language in which we interact, because computer don't understand those languages. Also, computer only and only understands binary, so we have to write our code in binary, but we can't understand code, we can't understand the binary language. So what programmers have done, they have built programming languages. See, this is a code, okay, and this code is written in Python. For now, I have taken a Python code. It can be a code of any language. Okay, it is a code of Python. By the end of this lecture, you guys will be one or two lectures. You guys will be able to write this type of code. It's a very basic code of Python. So we will be learning any coding language, okay, and writing the code or writing the program in that language. So we will be learning that language. It will be sorted from our sides that we can give instructions in that language, the coding language, and after that, computer can understand that. But no, computer also can't understand those coding languages like Python, Java, C, C++, or anything like that. What computer actually understands is binary. Now, I have told you, right? We will be discussing about the compilers and interpreters, right? So now compiler and interpreters comes into the picture. It acts as a translator. Okay. We will be writing the code in any coding language. Okay. For example, here I have written the code in Python. Okay. It will be the compiler and interpreter will be converting those that coding language into binary for the ease of computer. So I will be writing. I will, let me mention it again. I will be writing in a coding language that I will be ultimately learning. Okay. That coding language will get converted into binary via compiler or interpreter. So compiler or interpreter will be working as a translator. So it will be translating my coding language for our this series, the Python Bootcamp series. It will be going to be Python. Okay. So those compiler or interpreter will convert the Python into binary. And I can understand Python, I can write the code in Python, and similarly, computer can understand binary and after that compile our code in the binary format. Okay, so now that problem has solved. This is the very much basics of programming. I have spent, like, I think plenty of time, which is the not plenty, the sufficient amount of time that is required for understanding the basics of programming. This is those basics. Entire programming works on this principle only. Although learning programming is not that easy, and it's not that difficult also. We will be seeing that later on. Okay, so now how those compiler and interpreter works. First, in a single programming language, there is either compiler or interpreter. For example, in Python, there is interpreter. Okay. In Python, there is interpreter. Compiler, it's not like that compiler and interpreter will be working simultaneously or both will be working together. It's not like that. In a single programming language, either compiler will be there or interpreter will be there. There will be a choice in which programming language chooses which one. So now we will be after this slide we will be seeing the difference of compiler and interpreter. Before that, let me have some water. So yeah, so now we will be covering the difference between compiler and interpreter. Okay. So let me just dive into the presentation again. So there are a lot of difference between compiler and interpreter, but you don't have to cram all of them. Just understand this first difference only. Yeah, this first difference only. Interpreter. First, we will see interpreter. Okay. Interpreter translates and executes one statement at a time, and compiler translates the entire program before execution. So what does that difference mean? Let's just see this. For example, here there are four lines of code. Okay, four lines of code. What interpreter will do? Interpreter first executes the first line of code. Okay, after that it will be executing the second line of code. Then it will be executing third line of code. After that it will be executing fourth line of code. So interpreter will be executing the code line by line. Okay, whereas the compiler will be executing all the lines, all the code simultaneously together, not line by line. Okay, this is the key difference between interpreter and compiler. And what are the other difference? Compiler is usually faster because it translates the entire code before execution. Interpreter is comparatively slower. That is the reason also that most of the programmers start with Python, and because it uses interpreter, it is comparatively slow, not applicable for competitive programming, and it is also not that much used in the industry. Although in industry, Java and C or C++, these type of languages are most popular. So that's the reason why everyone starts with Python, but later on changes their language. Okay. So because Python is comparatively slower because it uses interpreter. Okay. Interpreter is slower. So one more difference that I wait just a second. Let me run the slideshow again. Yes. Okay. So that's also the reason why it is comparatively lower. What happened? And one more thing. Till the time it is getting loaded, let me just jump. Yeah. In interpreter, it will show you the error line by line. Like if first it for example, if there are 10 lines of code, okay, first the first line will get executed, after that the second line will get executed, and let us suppose there is an error in third line. So first two lines will get executed without any error, but the third line will show error. And after that, when we will debug that error, third line will get executed, fourth will get executed, fifth will get executed, and let us suppose in third line there in sixth line there is again an error. So after that it will be showing the error in sixth line. Whereas in case of compiler, it will not get compiled because the entire because if there is an error in case of any language which uses a compiler, it will show all the errors simultaneously. Like in our previous code, the error was in third line and sixth lines, but in case of interpreter, it is only showing one error at a time that the system that the interpreter can render very first. Like in initially, it was showing error in only third line. After that, we debug that error. It will show the error of sixth line. But in case of compiler, it will show all the list of errors simultaneously. That's also a difference. Okay, see that we can see in case of these compiler and interpreters. Okay. So that's base. Now let us come to why Python. Why we are using Python? Python is most beginner friendly language if it comes about. There are a lot of programmers, well-known programmers, CEOs and co-founders of very big tech giants that started with their programming journey with Python because it's most beginner friendly. And why it's most beginner friendly? Because it's a syntax. Now, what is syntax? Syntax is like if we are learning any other language, not the coding language, the general languages that we use. Okay, for example, English, Hindi, Punjabi, or French, Italian, Spanish, German, any language. We learn its grammar, which are the rules of any language, how this language works. So similarly, the grammar of coding or programming language is its syntax. Okay, syntax is like the grammar that how we will be writing the things. Okay, so it is the syntax of Python is very, very much understandable and easy to understand if you are a complete beginner. No need to be a pro in programming. Hence, you can start your programming journey from this programming language because it's very easy to understand. If you know just basic English of I think like fourth or fifth standard maybe, then you will be able to understand each and everything that I will be teaching in this series. You will be able to cope up with that. Okay, basic from basic English, I means thing terms like if you know the meaning of if, else, for, while, like this only. It's very easy and understandable. Okay, trust me. And basics of Pro Python. The character set. Before knowing the character set, we will be seeing this saving a Python file. How to save a Python file? Okay, so always remember to save a Python file with a .py extension. This is very important. Let me highlight this also. Not highlight, let me mark this completely on the slide. Okay. Yeah. Always remember to use a .py extension. What is this? Like in the ending of a PDF, there is .pdf extension. In the end of a text file, there is .txt, there is .mp4, mov. These are all extensions. In the end of a Keynote file, now those who don't know Keynote, there's Keynote is type of a presentation only in Apple devices. There is not PowerPoint. There is Keynote. So it uses .key extension. So these are the type of extensions that let the system again. What is system? For now only it is the laptop. Okay, that lets your laptop to understand which type of file it is, what type of data you are storing in this file. Okay, so for a Python file, you always have to use a py extensions. It is very important. Without this, the file will not be a Python file. Okay. So now we can talk about the character set. What is character sets? So in each and every coding language, not only coding language, in our general languages also, there are type of characters that are allowed in that language, and some characters are not allowed in that language. Now, what does it mean? For example, in English, we use A, B, C, D, these alphabets, but we don't use these alphabets in Hindi. While we are writing Hindi, we use K, K, G, Ghs. Okay, we don't use ABC there, and similarly, we don't use K, K in English. So there are fixed characters. What are characters? The alphabets. Okay, there are fixed alphabets of each and every language. No matter is it a normal general language that we are using to communicate with humans, or whether it's a coding language that we are using to communicate with the systems. Okay, so there are fixed characters that are allowed in that language. So what are those characters for Python? Okay, for letters capital A to capital Z, we can use small from capital, I mean uppercase A to uppercase Z, and lowercase A to lowercase Z. We can use that. In digits, we can use 0 to 9. Okay, so it doesn't mean we can't use 10. We can make 10 using 1 and 0. Again, 1 is also allowed, 0 is also allowed. So we can do that also. Okay, we can do that also. So like each and every mathematical digit is getting special symbols. For example, plus, minus, asterisk, asterisk. This is asterisk. Sorry for the tongue twisted. This is asterisk. Okay, in coding word, this symbol is known as asterisk, and it is used for multiplication, the division sign, and all the other special symbols. Like, so there is ampersand. Now, what is ampersand? Okay, this sign. This is known as ampersand. This is also allowed. At the rate. At the rate is also allowed. Okay, the percentage sign is also allowed. So, hashtag, all exclamation mark, all these are the signs that are allowed in Python. Okay. Spaces, we can use space bar, blanks, tabs, these things, all the characters. And we can other ASCII and Unicode characters also. Now, what is this ASCII and Unicode characters that we will be covering further, okay, in this series? Not in this lecture, in this series, these are type of numbers, okay, given to each and every character. So till now, for a very basic understanding or for a layman language, you can just simply say each and every character present on the keyboard of your laptop. Each and every character that is present on the keyboard of your laptop is usable or is allowed in Python. You can use that character. Okay. And important thing, don't forget to use .py extension in the ending of a Python file. Okay. So now print and input statement. Before coming to this, let me tell you two things to download. Okay. The first thing that you have to download is the Python interpreter. So, how you will be downloading that? Just go to any browser, either Safari, Chrome, Firefox, or any browser of your choice. Just search Python download and open the first link. It will be showing you the official Python website. After that, you can download it using selecting whether you are using Mac OS or anything, which software you are using. Select that, and after that you can download the Python, the version that will be compatible with your device. Okay, and second thing that you have to download is VS Code, Visual Studio Code. For that, again, go to any browser of your choice. Just search VS Code download or Visual Studio download. Visual Studio Code download. Okay. What is Visual Studio Code? Visual Studio Code is a freely available platform where you can write and practice your codes, and it is made by Microsoft, I guess. Okay. Yes, it is made by Microsoft, so you can use that. Now, what is code editor and why we need that code editor? So, I will be explaining it using an analogy. Let me think about it. Yeah. During our school days and now in our college days also, okay, used to write our notes on a notebook or a register, okay, on a notebook or a register. Similarly, you have to write code also, but you can't write your code on a notebook or a register. Although you can write it, but you can't implement it. So there is not any practical use of it, and it is also not advisable to write your codes on your notebook or register. Okay, so you will be downloading a code editor, and the best code editor that I know is Visual Studio Code because it is freely available. There are a lot of other code editors also that are way more better than Visual Studio Code, but the special things that Visual Studio comes with is it is free. You don't have to spend any, even a penny, a single penny of yours. And it is a very important point because you are just a beginner. You are beginning with this thing. Okay. You are getting to know with the things. So you are not that much ready and you should not be ready to spend even a penny of your investment where it is not necessary. Okay. So first thing that you have to download is Visual Studio Code. Second, the Python interpreter. Now, the use of Python interpreter? As I have told you earlier, also we will be writing Python codes. Okay, so to implement those codes, you will be needing a Python interpreter. So you have to externally download that in your system. So now the detailed downloading process and how to download these things, you can just go on YouTube and search the videos for the downloading process of it as per your device, whether you are on Windows laptop, Mac, lap, MacBook. I am myself on using a MacBook, and whether you are on a Linux device, you can search on YouTube the video of your choice and download the version that is compatible with your device. Okay, Uh, and if and Okay, I will be also making a separate video for the downloading process, and you can also watch that also. But that will be only for the MacBook because I have MacBook. I don't have a Windows laptop. Okay, so can make a downloading process for a MacBook, and for you, the Windows users can watch a different video on the YouTube. Okay, there are plenty of videos available on YouTube of this purpose only, and you can search for MacBook also till the time I am not posting that video. Okay, so. Now, after that, you have downloaded all of these things. Just come to just let us begin with the most basic two commands. Okay, the most basic two commands that we have. The first one is the print command. The second is the input command. So, what both of these commands do and how these commands work. Okay, let us understand that. First, let's understand print command. Okay, we will be understanding both the commands, but one by one. Okay. Print command. Now, what is print command and what is the syntax? How to use it? See, for using the print command, you have to write print, obviously. Okay. After that, apply a braces. What is braces? These brackets. Okay. And inside these braces, there will be the content that you have to got that you want to get printed. Okay. It is written on the slides also. Okay. This is the print statement. Now, how this print statement works, we will be seeing a demo of that. So here I have opened my code editor, which is Visual Studio Code. Okay. And I have created a file named as lecture1.py. P here .py extension I have mentioned in the video also. This is very important to use. Okay. And now I am writing the command. And one more thing, Python is case sensitive language. It is very important. Python is case sensitive. Sensitive. Python is case sensitive language. Now that this case sensitive, what does it mean? Okay. Like in this language, capital P means uppercase P and small p means lowercase p. Both of them are different. There are coding languages in which are not case sensitives. Hmm, I don't. I kinda don't recall the name of those languages, but I know a web technology HTML. HTML is not case sensitive. Okay, in that capital P and small p will be meaning the same thing. But Python is case sensitive, so be careful while writing the things. Whether you are using uppercase letter or a lowercase letter, it will be creating a huge difference. In this print statement, okay, let me use a laser pointer. In this print statement, see, this entire print is lowercase. The P is not of uppercase. Remember that thing, okay? Now let us print. Now I have come on my code editor. I will be writing print braces. After that, I will be writing the content. For example, here I want to print hello world. Okay. Now I will save this code by pressing Command and S. On MacBook, you have this command button, and for Windows, alternative, I think there you have that Windows button or I think Shift, not Shift, I think Control button. Okay, I don't know the actual name of that button. I think it's a window button. Use that and press S. This is a shortcut. Okay, for running the code, just press a run button present over here and see. First, let me delete the previous codes. Okay. Yes. See, hello world. It has been got printed on the terminal. So to print anything, you just have to write print braces, and under that braces, just write the content that you want to get printed. Okay. So here in my case, I want to print hello world. So it got printed. Okay. And now, a question that will be arising in your minds, which should be arised. Like if that question is not getting arised, then you are not paying that much attention or not being that much observant that much you should be. Okay. Here, I have not used any uh, mm, inverted commas, but when I have executed my print statement, here I have used exclamation marks. Why? Because I want to print a string. Again, what is a string? String is a data type, and there are other types of data types also that we will be covering in the next lecture, which will be variables and data types. There we will be covering this entirely and in detail. Okay, that why we have used this. Okay, till then just learn it that if we want to print anything, any string, now string like any English, okay, English alphabet, like here hello world is a sentence, then always use exclamation, not exclamation, then always use inverted commas and close that sentence or those words in inverted commas that you want to print, and you are good to go. And similarly in the after that we will be covering input statement. In that also you have to use this. See here, but I have written this, and here this thing is optional. Okay, but before that let us cover the in print statement completely. Now I, for example, I want to print anything else. For example, I want to print my age. Like I can write 18, not 21. How this got print typed, I don't know. My age is 18. Okay, now I will be as you can like see here, hello first in first line, hello world got printed. In second line, 18 got printed. Okay, and see here I have not used inverted commas. Oh, sorry, here I have used inverted commas. Here I have not used inverted commas because 18 is a number. It can be an integer, and it thus it can be printed directly because without use of inverted commas also. But we can use inverted commas also, like this also. Now let us run this. See, in first line there is hello world. In second line it's 18, and in third line there's 18 again. But this 18 and this 18 are not same because this is an integer and this is a string. So you will be learning about integers string thing in the next lecture. Till now, my work was to explain the print statement that I had done. There are some other two things also that is pending in the print statement that I will be telling you in within a minute or two. But I just want to give you a short notice that there is something known as string and something as integer data types that you can just search and do some research and try to understand about these things. Because see, when you will be trying to learn things yourself, you will be putting some efforts yourself in finding the things. You will find the answers to that things also. You will find some other things also, and the answers of those other things also. That there are chances that I will not be covering. Although I will be trying to cover each and every part possible for the Python in this series. But once you start doing research on your behalf, you will got to learn a lot of things. Okay. And not only this, you will build a habit of doing the research and not being dependent on anybody else. Okay. And this is print statement. But see, let me just erase this print statement. Okay. Now execute. So see, now there is hello world and 18. But if you guys can notice, hello world is on first one line and 18 is on other line. Why? Some people's answer maybe because here we have done it on different lines. In line number one, I am writing print hello world, and in line number two, I am writing print 18. Yes, this is the reason, but actually there is a attribute known as end attribute. Now, what are the attributes? Uh, backslash n. Okay. If we don't write this end equals to backslash n, it usually takes it by itself. Okay. Now see if I run again, same input, but if I write and as suppose percentage sign, it will be ending with a percentage sign. See, I have run print hello world, which got printed here. After that, end, which is an attribute. Attribute. Now, what is attribute? Print is a statement, but when we provide extra information about a statement, it is known as attribute. Here, and is a attribute because it is providing extra information about the statement. Here I am saying and equals to again exclamation marks. Why? You will be learning it in the next video because it's a string. Then percentage sign. It now it is saying this phrase is saying that and this print statement with the print symbol, with a percentage symbol, which ultimately after hello world, that percentage symbol also got printed. After that, another print statement have come and it has said that print 18. After that, 18 had got printed. Now, what was going in the earlier? If we don't write end, okay, like here, I haven't write end. Now, what happens? It directly jumps to the next line. Why? Because when I don't write and explicitly, by default, the end got set to backslash n. Okay. Now, what is this backslash n? This backslash n means shift the cursor to the next line. Just it similarly works as a enter. Okay. Let's shift the next statement to the next line. So, what happen if I just write this? Uh, Even delete this line. Okay. Then hello world, and our cursor had shifted to the next line. Okay. Cursor had shifted to the next line. Now, whatever we will be writing in the code, it will be getting implemented in the next line. By default, the end set attribute is set to be at backslash n. And if we want to adjust that, we can implicitly adjust that. Okay. And there's one more attribute, which is a sep attribute. Okay. Let me do one thing. Okay. So now, if I will be see hello world, and there is a space between that because there is one more attribute known as sep attributes. But is sep short form of separator? Okay, because in coding we make try to make things simple, so that's why sep. Now by default, separator is set to be a space bar. Now implemented the same result, hello world. But we can again, by default, it is set to be space bar. If we don't mention explicitly what we want to use as a separator, it will use a space bar. But if I want to do that, I can, for example, this ampersand inside. See, first, this first thing hello got implemented. After that, I have mentioned the separator, which is ampersand that got printed, then word. Why? Because see, this is a different string, this is a different string, and we have to separate it by a comma. If okay, this is the syntax of a print statement. Now I have explained each and everything about a print statement. Now let us jump to the input statement. Now, what is the input statement? Before that, let us revise the print statement. Okay, in print statement, we are just printing something on the terminal. You can assume it is a print as an output statement. Okay, but if we want to input something from the user, for example, we are designing a website. Although we don't use Python in website building, we use HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the front end and something else for back end and else for database. But still, for understanding purpose, let us say we are building a website and we want to take input from the user, something as the input from the user. In that scenario, we will be using input statement. Now, what is syntax? This is the syntax of input statement. And in this statement, this content is optional. Okay, let me write it. This content thing, okay, it's optional. This content thing is optional to write. Whereas in the print statement, again, avoid the handwriting because it's my first time that I am writing using a pen tablet. Whereas in the print statement, it is compulsory because we have to give that content that we want to print. So in print statement, it is compulsory, but in input statement, it's optional. Now, how the things work? Okay, just let me write input braces and run the code. So see, here my code is asking for something. When I click here, I can type something here like Gur Simran, which is my name. So the system has asked for something and I have delivered that information. Now, what was that optional content wala thing? Okay. I use this inverted commas and write enter your name. Now I'm printing it. Okay. Now again, see this enter your name and then this colon, not colon. Yeah, this colon got printed. It acts as a print statement first, then it is asking for input. Now I can write good Simran again. Okay. So now what's the difference between that? In the first scenario where I have not typed, in the first scenario where I have not typed this, okay, enter your name, it is only taking the input and I have to deliver that input. Whereas in a case where I can type this, where I had typed it, there is first printing something on the terminal and then I have to give the input. Now, in practical uses, when you will be actually building the projects, you always have to write this. Although it is optional, but you have to write this because it provides the user a different information. Um, okay, information. For example, here I can again take an input and write enter your age. Now, see, as it is being implemented by an interpreter again. First statement, enter your name has implemented. Now I have to enter my name, okay? Just burst run. Enter. Now the second line had got implemented and it is asking for the age. Now I can write 18. Okay. Now let me just do one thing. I can erase this thing. Okay. Now I have to give something as input. Now I don't know. I have to input what thing. The system is not showing me. Earlier, it was showing that enter your name first, and in the second line, enter your age. Now here, I don't know that what I have to do. The give input as I don't know that I have to write my name here. Okay, so that's the actual and practical use of using this thing in the input statement. So that was all about the input statement. Now, comments. What are comments? In our daily life, also, we pass comments on some people, which we should not do actually. Okay, so there are also comments in coding part. Now, what are those comments? Let me show you by this thing only, like print hello world. If I will be running this code, this line will got implemented. Okay, and now let's like print. Um, but India is my country because I am not able to recall any other sentence. Okay, India is my country. So when I will be implementing that, see, first hello world, then India is my country got printed. But if I want that first statement should not get printed, then what can I do? Then your simple answer can be right. Don't write that statement. Don't write print hello world. But what if I want to write that also and I also want to not write that also? Means I want to write that statement, but I don't want that statement to get executed or rendered by the interpreter. Then I will make this statement just as comment. I will just put a hashtag here and after that when I write India is my country, only second line got implemented, first line not got implemented because two liner to write a comment first I have to use hashtag and after that anything that I will be writing will got commented out, line that need to be commented out. Okay, this is a syntax. And what if I have to write a multi-line comment, like I want to, for example, this only. Okay, this line is written 5 times and I don't want to implement this. One thing that you can do is put hashtag in front of all of them. Else, what you can do is just put three exclamation marks in the beginning and in the ending. Now implement the entire phrase that will be covered with between those three inverted commas will get commented out. See, for a multi-line comment, there's these three inverted commas, and between those, the lines that need to be commented out. Now, what is the actual practical use of comments? Okay, in case you want to uh, in the course that we will be writing here, there will not be any practical use of comments. Okay, means they are totally avoidable, that we can work without them also. But when you will be doing your actual projects, writing the codes there in actual projects, I will tell you the codes get up to thousands of line. Okay, in those lines you have to write this code to display extra information that you also can read about the code. Basically, comments are used to print, not print, to write extra extra information about the code that you can understand, and that if you in your actual projects you will there are chances you will be working a group or a team. So if someone else from your team is reading that code, they should also got to understand what is written in the code. Okay, to explain that code, you have to write this. For example, if I'm writing something, if I'm writing a code, print hello world again. Okay. So why I am writing this hello world again? Let me tell you that also. In coding world, let me show you my screen. I have written a code to print hello world again. Now, why I am writing this hello world again and again? Because in coding world, there is a ritual to write the first code that you write is hello world. Why? It's just a ritual to get to know about the hello coding world. And the first code you have to write something, you have to print something. So they have made it as the programmers had made it as the ritual that you have to write hello world. You can always write something else also, but I personally also prefer to write hello world. Now, before this, I want to write the below code is to print the hello world. Okay. Now, this line will not get executed because I have put the hashtag in front of it and it has been commented out. And but this second line had got implemented. Now, if I am reading the code, just by reading this line, I can understand that the below line will be written to print the hello world. Now you can also say that we can just see it by observing this line that print hello world. It will be printing hello world. Okay. But trust me, when you will be building actual projects, writing a lot of code in those scenario, it will be a game changer. You will be writing that now I am starting this function. Now this will be doing that. Now what is function? What it will be doing? We will be covering it later on. Don't worry about that. In those things, it will be very important to write the more information about your code that what you are doing and what this code will be doing. Now you can also understand by understanding this code because it by understanding this comment because it is written in English. Okay. And if you are working in team, your teammate can also read this and got to know that okay, if I have written this code and I will give it to my teammate, he or she can just understand by reading this line that what the code will be doing without even having a need to read the code. And in if the code is very long, which will be in the actual projects, like more than 1,000 lines, then it will be a game changer. Okay, so till now, just understand it that it will be usable in those scenarios. And also, we will be seeing a practical use case later on in this video also. When we will be doing the practice question. Now, operators. What are operators? I will be just giving the brief of this operators topic. We will be covering this operators in detail in the next lecture, which will be variables and data types. Okay. Now, what are these operators? First, there are arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators. Now, as of now, just let us see arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators, you also have done it in the maths. It is basically plus to do the addition, minus to do the subtraction, asterisk, which is multiplication sign to do the multiplication, division, modulo. Modulo will give you the remainder. Okay. For example, if I have divided 10 by 3, the quotient will be 3, means the answer will be 3, but it will be leaving a remainder of 1. So if I do use this, I can get that remainder as 1. Okay. Let me write that also. If I write 10 divided by 3, and if I write 10 modulo 3, this is known as modulo. Okay. And one more thing, if I write 10 floor division 3. Now, what is floor division? Just putting that divide sign twice. Okay. What will it do? The first one will simply print the answer, which is 3.33333. Okay. Second will print the remainder, which will be 1. Okay. Third will print the quotient answer only, but by applying greatest integer function, which will be 3 only, like removing the decimal. Okay. This is the basic difference between all of them. Okay. And now this double asterisk, what does it do? It basically prints the like write used to write down the power. For example, if I write 10 double asterisk 3, then my answer will be 10 0 0, like raised to power. It basically represents 10 raised to power 3 like this. Okay. It basically prints this and it will be printing this. Okay. This is the use of arithmetic operators. Now let us one by one do these. Okay. Just first write print 10 plus 2. Let us see 3 only. Okay. And there are 7 arithmetic operators, right? So do this. Minus, multiplication, division, modulo. Oh, there I have look at them, right? Division, modulo. Array, yeah. And this. Which one is feminine? Raised to power, right? See, now I will be implementing all of those. See, in the very first line, we have written 10. Let me just put the very first line, we have written 10 plus 3. So the answer is 13. In the second line, we have written 10 minus 3, answer is 7. Third line, 10 multiplied by 3, answer is 30. Fourth line, 10 divided by 3, answer is 3.33333. Okay. This is 5. This doesn't matter. It is just because of some rounding of things and how the basic Python interpreter works. Okay. You don't have a need to care about that. We will be learning about this, why it comes in later on in this video. Or not in this video, in upcoming videos of this series, the Python Bootcamp series. So please stay connected. And then 10 divided by 10 modulo division 3 means it will be returning the remainder. So 1 will be the remainder. 10 floor division by 3, only 3, rounding of this integer. Okay. 10 raised to power 3, again 1000 that I have told you earlier also. So this is how basic arithmetic operators work. Okay. Now we will be doing some practice questions. Okay. Let us do the practice questions quickly. Okay. First is to write a program to print this WAP. Okay. This WAP stands for write a program. Okay. Another short form abbreviation learned. To print asterisk asterisk. Okay. So I will be writing this code now. Just let me delete this and yeah. Print. Wait, print and asterisk. One more asterisk. Uh, 4, 5 asterisk. Implement it. It got printed. See. So this was our first coding question of this video. And just a second. Let me adjust the light. Let me adjust the light. Everything was. Yeah. See. Our first coding question is done. Now, one practical use of uh, comments. Okay, answer. Wait about answer. Practice question one. Enter. See, now by reading this line, you will be knowing that we are writing the answer of practice question one, and after that, we are writing the actual answer of practice question one. Understandable. So this is how comments actually work. Now I will be writing practice question two. Now you know that after this I will be writing the answer of practice question two. Okay. Alright. For three. Now first let's write the answer of a practice question two. Okay. What is our second question? Write a program to input the given values, name, age, and marks. Okay. And we have to explicitly mention that we want to input name, age, and then marks. Okay. Name, age, and marks. Okay. Let us do this. Input name, age, and marks. Okay. Now I will be implementing this. Wait. I also have to comment down this, right? Just let me, because it will also get implemented. So to comment it down, there's a shortcut, okay? Just press the command key and the slash key simultaneously. Select the content and press that to comment it out or to uncomment it, okay? Now I will. Now, name, what is name? Good Simran thing, okay. I have written the wrong spelling of my own name. What I am, the hell I'm doing, I don't know. After that, age 18, marks, let us say 92, okay? Done. Second coding practice question also done. Now let me do comment it out and write the answer of practice question three. What is our third next practice question? It's write a program to print average of two numbers. Okay. Let us write a program to print the average of 4 and 6. Okay. So how to calculate average? Just add both of them and then divide it by the total number of, add both of them, divide by two. Total number of entities that we are adding. Okay. Print uh average of 4 and 6, right? 4, let me just 4 and 6. So why this one more bracket? The yellow one is for the syntax of print statement, and the purple one we are adding both of them. After that, we will be dividing this by 2, 5.0, which will be the average of this number. Okay, done. Meant it out. Practice question 4. Meant it out. What's our next practice question? Write a program to print the area of square. Let us, now this is an interesting question, okay? How to calculate the area of a square? To calculate the area of a square, we will be needing the side. For now, let us assume that side is 4. Okay. Then the what will be the area? Area. Area will be side into side. Area will be side into side. Or side square also. Okay. So which will be 4 into 4, which is 16 in this case. Okay. Okay. Which is 16 in this case. So now let us write that answer. Okay. Print 4 into 4, right? 4 into 4. See, this question should be done using variables, but for now, we will are you just write you doing it using the print statement. Just write print 4 into 4. Implement it will be printing side. Okay. 16, the area. And you can also do one thing, that is you can do for just this. What raise double asterisk will do? It will make it as 4 raised to power 2, which is 4 square. So again, it will be also giving you 16. Okay. So what we have learned from this last question, that there can be multiple ways to solve a single problem. What is this? There can be multiple ways to solve a single problem, but what you should do? Wait, first let me just comment it out. Okay, so there can be multiple ways to solve any problem, a single coding problem. But what you should be doing is try, as a beginner, try all the possible ways that you know, and try to investigate or research other ways also that you don't know to do the same problem, and find out which one you likes the most, which one you finds most easiest, and stick to that approach. In very initial condition, you don't have to be sticking to a single approach or a single method to do that thing. Instead, try and find all the possible ways to do that. After that, find which one you likes and which one you will be able to do sustain your coding journey with. Okay. So that was all the coding questions. Thank you from my side. And yeah, so that's all for today's session. We have covered the entire basics of Python, why we should do Python, difference between compiler and interpreter, and all those things. And we have learned, and most important things that you have to remember from this lesson is print statement, input statement. And in print statement also you have to remember its attributes, which I have told, the end attribute, separator, sep attribute, and input statement operators, arithmetic operators, and commenting also. And in our next lecture session, we will be doing variables and data types. So till then, bye bye from my side, and revise all the concepts that I have told. And before coming to the next video, make sure that you had watched this video and understand the entire things. And if you don't have understand any things or have any doubts, just pause the video, play the video again. If you understand, well and good. If you don't understand, just post a comment. I will be reading your each and every single comment and trying to reply that for solving your doubts. But yeah, that was it for today's video. We'll meet in another video. Till then, take care and bye bye.